Welcome back to yet another tutorial, and today we are going to talk about Emacs as a text editor. Actually, Emacs came before V or Vim, and I honestly didn't want to do video about Emacs because it has such a steep learning curve, and ordinarily, new information can be intimidating, so I was afraid. But when you get people reaching on Slack asking you, where's the video about Emacs? Where's the video about Emacs? You said you will do it. You want to. And I promise when people keep subscribing, I will be creating content. So for the people who have reached out on Slack, I'm really sorry for delaying this. Actually, I didn't sleep. Yesterday I slept at 4:20 a.m. 4:20 a.m. So just studying about Emacs so that I can make absolute outstanding videos so that you will be able to appreciate and understand. And after learning about Emacs, I can say that it's absolutely amazing. The person who created Emacs, that guy is a genius. Is absolute genius. So we are going to learn about Emacs as a text editor, but Emacs is not just a text editor. Okay, Emacs can do many things. Emacs can operate as a file system. Emacs can work as a calendar. Emacs has its own shell. Emacs has games. Emacs as a calculator, and so many things. It's also an IDE, integrated development environment. So there are so many things we can do with Emacs. So why not start? Okay, so the first thing, you can go to your browser and type Emacs, download Emacs. Okay, so if you're using Windows, you will get it here. If you're using Mac, go for Emacs for Mac OS. So I downloaded this version. I clicked here and downloaded. So mine is already downloaded here. Here, let me just clear these. Mine is already downloaded here. Okay, perfect. After downloading, just click to install. The way you install files, it's different for those who are on Mac and different for those who are on Windows. Now please note that this video is going to be long because Emacs has a lot and I will not be able to cover like all of them. In V we did 20 commands. In Emacs today we are going to do over 60 or about 60, and that's just a scratch in the surface. Okay, so after installing Emacs, you need to run it. So here we have our Emacs, and I know some of you may say this is bright, so let's customize it. If you look here, Emacs has like the menu. You see Emacs, file, edit, options, buffer, tools, help. So let me just go here to help and say customize themes. Customize Emacs themes, and I just want to choose a black theme. Okay, Monoid Dark. Now this is how Emacs looks like. Okay, so there's a question: should I have to install Emacs if I'm just using Emacs for my ALX project? The answer is no. Remember, we were told, okay, let me see Emacs. Remember, we were told that the sandbox is a virtual machine based on Ubuntu. So Ubuntu comes already it comes already installed with Emacs. Now the only difference is in Ubuntu 20, I think we're using 20.4, you'll get Emacs version. Let me see, just run Emacs to start an Emacs. You will get version, here it is, version 26. Okay, but if you look at the one we installed, we are at version 28. So if you want updated one, download. but you don't have to download. From your terminal, you are able to start Emacs. Okay, so you see whatever we have here is the same as what we have here. Okay, those things are the same, and I will do the way we did last time. I will split my screen. I will tilt this to the right and then this to the left. You see, it's the same thing. Okay, it's the same thing, basically the same thing. Okay, so I will quit this one for Helix and continue with the one that we were using. Okay, now I said that you can use Emacs for different things. First, I said you can use Emacs as a file system. So let's see how Emacs works as a file system. Okay, so I will click on Alt X, okay, then say direct. Okay, so down here you see what I'm typing, and I think to make people see, I rather put it like this. So down here is where you will be able to see the commands. So mx direct, okay, if I press OK, it asks me, where do I want to go? Okay, I want to go to home directory. Then I see I'm under users Rogers or Tom. So the things that are under Rogers or Tom, you are able to see it. Okay, and you see, you remember when we said ls in long format? So it gives you files and directory in long format. It's simply ls in a long format. So that's something that Emacs does in the background. So these are file system. Now if I wanted to move to, let's say, desktop or documents, I just click documents and yes, allow. It opens documents down here. So here I find remember when we talked about access token, we created it. So if I want to go to that access token, I'll just click there and we see that access token here already opened. So those are already here. Those are already here. Remember, we are in users, and under users we are in Rogers or Tom. So if we go now into documents here, then what you are seeing here on Emacs is the same thing you're seeing here. Okay, now Blackmagic design, you have zoom, here it is, and then you have these files, then you have size of which is a C file. Okay, so Emacs can work as a file directory. So let me come here, up here, and kill that. To kill, I will use Control X0 to kill. Okay, now if I want to use Emacs as a calendar, what do? I use Alt X, then I type what I want. So I want calendar, and voila, calendar has been opened. So let me close this one, Control X0. So I have my calendar here. Okay, and I can scroll and go to another month like that. Another thing I can do with Emacs is to open a shell. Remember when we open these terminals, okay, we said that this is actually a shell. It's a shell. Okay, these hyper terminals, these are shell. So Emacs has its own shell that it comes with, such that if we say print working directory, it will take us to print working directory, we can ls and so forth. So how do I get that in Emacs? I press Alt X. Okay, let me come here, Alt X, then I just say E shell, and voila, I have my shell there. So if I print working directory, you see I'm inside the document. If I ls, you see I'm now inside the documents, and I can see if I want to let's say or Tom, that one, I can read. Okay, so it works basically as a shell. Okay, what else can we do with Emacs? What else can we do with Emacs? we can use Emacs to play games, and you can install many games. So in this case, I just want to play I want to play a Tetris game. So I will come here and say Alt X and then type Tetris. So if I press, let me come and close this one with Control X0. You see I am now playing Tetris, and I can put this one on full screen so that you see the game. So Tetris lovers, when you are tired, Emacs is here for you to you can play the game. And I can play this game all the day long. Okay, another thing you can do is use Emacs as a calculator. So how do I do that? Let me reduce the size. I will just say Alt X, then say calculator, and it opens a calculator here. Now let me come here to this upper buffer and Control X0 so that we just see the calculator. So in this calculator, I can say like 4 times 5. Answer is 20. Okay, I can say 3 plus 57. The answer is 60. Okay, I'm a genius. Okay, so those are some of the things you can do with Emacs, plus many more. Remember, it's an IDE. You can read email, you can send an email, you can read news, so many things. So we can't cover all Emacs in just one sitting. So today we'll just focus on Emacs as a text editor. So what I want to do, I want to teach us that there are special characters that we use in Emacs. And I want you to focus just in this small section. Painfully enough, we can't expand it to be big. It can't be big, okay? So I want you to know that when we say, and instead of using a calculator, let me open a file, okay? So to open a file, I'll say Control X. Buffer is in a read mode only. Okay, so buffer is in a read mode only. What if I create a new file? I want to open a new file and call it, I will keep it in the desktop, and I will call it Bafunde Manifesto and press OK. So inside here, there's an error in the menu. So inside here, if you see a C, okay, a C in Emacs, that stands for Control in your keyboard, or other keyboards it's written like this, but it's still written as Control. When you see M, that M stands for Meta, or on your keyboard it's the Alt key. So when you press an Alt key, like right now, I want to, if press an Alt key, what will be printed here is M, okay? When you see S, that stands for capital S, that stands for Shift, okay? But you will not use most of this S, okay? Perfect. Now we can't use these special characters alone, so we use them in combination with other characters. So this brings us to something called key bindings. Okay, so a key binding is using the special characters of Control and Alt, okay, or Meta, plus something else. So for example, when I type Control and X, this is what you will see. This means that we have pressed Control on Windows or Mac plus X. Okay, Control C means we have pressed Control plus C together. Okay, if you see MX, that means we have pressed Alt plus X. So those things are called key bindings. So with those key bindings, then we go ahead and use or write commands. We go ahead and write commands. So those specific key bindings performs specific operations. Okay, specific key bindings performs specific operations.